Hello, hello. Okay, so I was sick, right? For the last 3 days. Pretty bad. I mean, like, I was sick and that's bad. But yeah, I'm back. I'm okay now. I'm fine. Way better, like better than ever, really. But yeah, so yeah, I feel bad that I made everybody wait this long. I felt really bad for missing streams the past couple of days. Like I was literally drowning in guilt. I felt so bad. But literally yesterday I couldn't even get out of bed because I was like, I'm still sleepy. But more like my head was hurting quite a bit, so I just decided a better idea was to rest than stream. Which I'm glad I did because I feel way better after 3 days of like actually resting. And so I'm back! Yay! I mean, I do really enjoy streaming, so there's no way I'm stopping, even if illness takes over me. That being said, the past 3 days have been interesting, because all I did was stay in bed, and rest. And because I didn't want to get bored, I occasionally read. I mean, it was like mostly read books, not much of else. Like I wasn't even on Discord or Twitter. Like I was being so inactive. I thought like I literally felt like I dropped off the face of the earth. But the nice part is that like it's really really chill. Like it's so chill. It was really nice 3 days of me properly taking a break so that like I healed well, but I was so unimaginably dizzy. Like, I think it's been a while since I've had a dizzy spell so bad. Because I was like sitting in one place, like just laying down and being so super dizzy. Like, I felt like I was gonna faint, but I haven't fainted once in these 3 days, which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So, we take it as it comes. The reason I chose to let today be a chatting stream is because it's been 3 days of me not streaming, and so I wasn't sure if I'd be up like full on energy levels for like a proper game stream or like anything else. But oh my god. Yeah, I also think like being sick made me feel like even worse about like I just didn't want to stream in the first place. It's like I have no energy. I have no energy to talk. Like I just want to stay in bed all day. I mean at least I ate well. Like I'm somebody who tries to eat well normally, but I get really lazy about it every once in a while because I'm like, who's gonna bother? Like no one actually cares, So it was relieving to know that I was eating well. But yeah, it's like another one of those days where I just feel really blessed that I'm alive and, can show up. I've been trying to learn this new software. I found a different motion graphics software that was specifically made for motion graphics, not like After Effects at all. Like you're definitely gonna have to learn it. But it's called Cavalry and it's free license if you like don't want all the extra little features, which I don't really know what the features do. So I was like, I just want to try. If it's good, then I don't mind paying for the extra features, but I haven't really learned how to use it yet. But it's been fun trying to like understand what the hell is going on because I have no idea. So my new goals right now are learning cavalry. Also I'm still learning how to draw a little bit, like really really slowly, but it's the thought that counts, I suppose. You see, like it really is kind of the thought that counts in this case. I studied the day before I got sick, right? And then I got sick the day I was gonna study more, but then I got sick, so I just like sort of left it there. And I was like, well, whatever, I don't care. But yeah, having tons of fun, just understanding what went wrong with my body. I have no idea actually. Like, I think I just had a terrible migraine one and was so dizzy and had like basically just my ears were ringing all day, all night, the last 3 days. Like, it was kind of really annoying. Oh my god. I would like my sleep schedule gets interrupted every single time I get sick because I don't sleep well. Like I sleep well whenever I go to sleep, but whenever I wake up it's hard for me to fall back asleep. So like even though I said I wanted to sleep all day, like I basically was just in bed because I didn't have that much energy to get up, walk around and stuff. But I am like happy that I was going to like sit outside in the living room instead of in my room all day, because the living room has a lot of light in it and my room would get too hot for me to enjoy all the light, you know? I'd just be like, this is so hot, I hate it. So yeah, I just stayed in the living room or in my room and just like rested, if nothing else, because I didn't do much else, you know? I was gonna like be like, no, I should do something else, you know, I should work, or I should like study or like work on some personal project, etc., etc. And I was gonna be like, there's no point if I'm like completely sick for me to insist on working and making myself like more, you know, tired and exhausted. My body sure does love to give me surprises once in a while. It's like, hello, you, yes. But yeah, it's been an interesting 3 days, and the only reason I say it is because, I mean, in the last 3 days, I think I understood even more why I like streaming. And it was an interesting process, especially since the last stream that we had, what was the last stream that we had? Wait a second. Do I remember? Oh yeah, it was the last stream that we had went off on like such a high point that I was like, oh, wow. Because like the last stream that we had, I was very happy, and I think that says a lot. So yeah. I really liked the last stream that we did. The game was really fun, not gonna lie. Like I had a lot of fun. I'm sure, like, I don't know if anyone else did while watching me play, because I was being a bit, I think I get distracted while playing games, and then like I don't pay attention to chat as much, which makes me feel bad. But I'm trying to get better at it. I try to pay more attention even if I'm playing a game that's super involved, you know, like super involved in my psyche. But yeah, for this week's schedule, right, I plan to stream every single day because I feel so bad that I missed, you know, I missed a couple of days yet last week, which, you know, I feel really bad about that. So like I'm kind of making it up by giving you guys an extra stream this week. Usually I only stream 6 times a week, like, you know, 6 days a week, because I, you know, it's important to take a break every week, like a short one, so that you don't like feel burnt out, and that would result in me taking a longer break randomly, being like, I'm tired, let me just yeah. But I like the idea of having just 6 days per week, because I think it's like a lot more organic, a lot more like chill, and it feels like it's supposed to be like structured in a way that doesn't make anyone, you know, uncomfortable, including me. I don't think anyone would want to watch me stream every day. There's only so much I can say before I run out. That's not true, because I can find new things to talk about, obviously. But yeah. Okay, somebody needs to remind me to put a poll on my Discord so that I can, you know, give you guys new options for the games that I could play next, because I haven't done that. I want to just ask other people about, because like I feel really how should I say it, I'm not super comfortable with choosing them myself, because there's so many options and I always get overwhelmed. It's not that I can't make a decision, it's just that I like all of the games, so I can't decide which ones I want to play first. Plus there's also like, now that I'm starting a new game that once again is gonna be long, I want to like play shorter games so that like there's some sense of like completion that I don't get from playing like a longer style game, because like Ori and the Will of the Wisps and Ori and the Blind Forest are gonna be both quite long. They're gonna take multiple streams, don't know how many, but they're definitely going to. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is already taking so much time that I'm not even sure if it's going to complete anytime soon, even though I think we've gotten like quite a decent amount of progress for what it's worth. You know, we finally got to the lagoon, the pools, Luma pools, yeah. and which looks so pretty. Like a tropical habitat, like a tropical area in a game looks like so fun. I mean, just the swimming ability also. I really like the idea of the swimming abilities as well, because like I think they're just way more fun in this way. But yeah, I think tomorrow we're playing. I say I think because I keep forgetting what I put in my schedule. So even I have to go and look at it like 4 times every single day, thinking like, what am I doing tomorrow? I'm playing Ori and the Blind Forest. So I mean, no, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I think we're playing that tomorrow, and I'm quite excited for progress and like actually getting some more information about what is happening and how exactly we're gonna progress and where the story is gonna go, because that's always interesting. I'm a very lore girly. Like I really like lore, and like I'm even honest about it. I really like lore. I really like knowing stuff about lore in games, in books, in TV shows. Like, I mean, book lore is just plot and like world building basically, but game lore is quite interesting when I think about the fact that there's so much more that like goes towards a game, and like a lot of lore is like so event based, where it's like, okay, the game has this amount of lore, but you can't like theorize about everything else because there's no actual confirmation. You can make your own like your own headcanons and stuff, but I really do love when games and books and TV shows and anything in my world has lore. I don't even think I can explain it, because like I go through so many hoops to try and like actually I devour fan content so that I can have like my fill of the lore, even if it's not canon. Like at least it's fan, and we all know we kind of agree on these specific things that everyone sort of agrees to, because they're like, that makes sense. This can't be OOC at all, like, okay, to be truthful, yesterday night I was staying up reading a huge fan fiction. Why? I started it with the idea that I would fall asleep while reading it, or like fall asleep before, like, whenever I felt like I was gonna feel sleepy. But I ended up being like, I can't sleep if I don't finish it. It's so good. It was a really good fan fiction. I was very satisfied with myself. Like, I was so happy that I found something like this. And the fan fiction was Wangxian, modern AU, with like them being reincarnations of their like OG characters. So like it was really nice. Like I had so much fun. I couldn't even like I don't even know how to explain it, but if you guys have a chance, it's called Hanlong. Really nice, amazing. It's 99 chapters. It's completed too. So like you're getting a real treat. But that's only if you enjoy reading Wangxian fan fiction, which I am a connoisseur of. I really like it. Like, to be honest, I think part of it is because I really like the ship itself, and like the characters themselves are so like three-dimensional. I think one of the good things about this specific like series of books, or like this book that has these characters, so the author makes her characters so three-dimensional. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I've read a lot of books where the characters are so, you can feel that they're book characters. You don't feel them like they're real people. But like I can never deny the existence of Wei Ying and Lanjan, because I'm always like, they make sense. If they were real, they could totally be real. Like no one could deny their existence because of how like real their story sounds. Like they seem like complete humans. They don't seem like characters in a book, That's why I'm like more enthusiastic about them than I have been about any other couple I ship from a book in a while. But yeah, I end up devouring fan content so that I can feel feel more connected to the stuff that I'm reading. But I think just this couple is like very special to me. I relate a lot to Wei Wuxian on levels like I don't like to relate to characters that much. I feel like it makes me uncomfortable, because it does. But Wei Wuxian is one of those characters I relate to heavily, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna suffer so much. But it's like so mainstream now. At least in the sense that it has English translations, lots of fan content, lots of fan art. Like, there's always new things if you want to look for them. And the fandom isn't gonna die out anytime soon, because we're very enthusiastic, I think. Like, if I really end up feeling like I won't get any fan card, I'll just read the stuff that's already been there for a while. I don't mind that at all. I'll just reread the book. I'll reread the fan fictions I've read before. But yeah, it's not like I can't go and chase another series, another book, another couple more, because that's always an option. But I have a special place in my heart for this one. I'm like, they're so good. They're just so good. My heart is so full for them. I really love the book, and I really love this couple. I think everything about this couple has made me happy. And there's some fan fiction that's like really trashy and like not worth reading, but there's more that are so nice and you should definitely read them. So like, if you're like me, you should go and explore the AO3. Like, their AO3, really just Wang Jian. Because there's a lot of unfinished ones. There's one that I really like that I've even tweeted about on Twitter. It's called A Life Without Regrets by Nakashi. Oh my god, it's so good. It's not finished yet. There's only 5 out of 8 chapters, but like 5 very long, very like well written chapters that have made me so happy, made my day and my life better. Like, I can't even explain how much I adore Nakashi for writing something that makes so much sense. And it's one of my favorite like AUs is time travel fix it. I don't know why. For like Wang Jian, I think it makes a lot of sense if they had like a version of their life where they could fix all the things that they thought they lost, all the mistakes they thought they made. But I don't mind, because like acknowledging the fact that like canon is canon, and then after that fanon makes you happy. Also, if anyone's confused about what's canon and fanon, canon means, it's like the what's in the book itself, so what the author wrote, which is actually like what the book is about or what the book contains. And fanon is stuff that fans make up so that they can feel better, or they just want to write fan fiction, so it kind of diverges from canon sometimes. But like, I really like fanon as well. I think a lot of the stuff that fans decide to come up with in headcanons and stuff gets adopted pretty quickly, especially if it like makes sense in terms of the character itself. Like, as long as it's not out of character content, I don't think it's an issue. Which is why, like, whenever I encounter books and fan fictions attached to the books that make me really happy, I just can't stop talking about them. Like, I think when I slept after reading that 99 chapter fanfiction, which also wasn't even in English, okay, I was reading a translation of the original fanfiction, which, oh my god, the translation really did not like read like a translation. There's some translations of books and fanfictions that sort of, that they're translations because they don't fit well, but this one was done so freaking well, and I was just like, oh my god, it's like you can't even pick it out that it's a translation unless somebody told you. I would totally believe that somebody who was a native English speaker wrote it, even if they were not it was, the intention was to write it in English, because like the wording, the flow of the words, the sentence structures, all of it was quite organic. There was nothing that you would feel a bit distance and like eerie and awry about, because it was so well adapted. I really enjoyed that experience. Like, I can't even explain how much. I really like when translations, do the job so well. You can't deny the fact that they're like meant to be this way. And it's hard because translations are obviously hard, but if you were like somebody who understands a certain language and knows how to convey it appropriately, I think it helps in ways you can't even imagine. Because I genuinely enjoy translated novels and translated content in general. I think part of it is because of how like it's like difficult to adapt the original content of the book, which is in a different language, has different, like, colloquial terms, cultural, like, there's differences in culture. So what you're gonna adapt is definitely gonna have to color it with the way, like, the intention of the author, but like make sure that it conveys in the culture that you're speaking to. So if you're like translating something from, imagine, like Hindi to Bengali, you still have to pay attention to the nuances that come with translating something to Bengali, because Bengali speakers will like understand stuff a little bit differently than Hindi speakers do, and that's true. And so like it goes the same for any other translation in any other language. Like if you're translating from Korean to English or Thai to English, you have to think about like how do you read it so that it makes sense to people who are reading it in English. Like it has to make sense, like all the nuanced like jokes and idioms and all of that stuff, it has to make sense. Honestly, I don't find it a challenge to translate something from Hindi to English, because I think like I really understand the nuances of both languages enough that I can like translate quite effortlessly, so I can like convey what the original, like the sentence originally meant in English as well. Because sometimes translations aren't accurate, so you want something that makes sense, but like it still means the same thing. It doesn't have to be the exact words that are in either language, but it means the same thing. And like I feel confident enough to say that for like Hindi and English specifically, but I don't think I could do that for another language right now. I mean, definitely not Bengali, and I still am like I'm a learner in Korean and Mandarin and Japanese and French. I know that sounds like a long list of languages, because it is. I don't know why I'm trying to learn so many languages, other than let's just say I'm interested and I want to. There's really no other reason. Half of the stuff I do is just because I'm interested and I want to do it, which I think like says a lot about me as a person. Because let's be honest, like I never hid the fact that I was like doing a lot of the stuff I want to do in my life because I was just like interested in it. But I do think that's like an advantage, because if you're not interested, like I think your passion about something becomes a little bit like like you put a little bit less energy into it. Like I don't know how else to explain it. I can't find a better word other than energy, even though I mean like you can still do it with all of your diligence, but like it just doesn't have the same flavor, probably because you're not going to put as much creativity and thought into it. That's not to say that it's thoughtless, it just means that like if it's something you like, you're definitely going to work harder for it, not gonna lie. At least I feel that way, because I see myself doing it, but definitely doesn't apply to everyone else. I like the dopamine rush I get. I think part of it is also because wow, I really do like swallow up whole syllables. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I've been swallowing up syllables for a while now. I'm gonna improve my diction, so that I'm more like, understandable. My words don't confuse other people. Because apparently, I've been confusing a lot of people, including like, okay, so I was talking to my sister and she was just like, what are you even saying? And I was like, I'm saying what I'm saying. Like, what do you not understand? And she was like, you make no sense. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm literally talking in like normal speech. I'm not even like doing something strange. She's like, you're really eating up your words. And I was like, you're right. I've been a bit thoughtless recently. Why? Because I don't know. It's just easy to slip up when you're not trying to pay attention to whether your diction is good or not. Which I really used to do that even like up until like, I think half a year back. I was really concerned if my diction was good or not, but suddenly like I just stopped, which is really weird when you think about it, but diction is super important. So yeah, so I forgot what I was talking about before this, but I'm gonna keep talking about diction because why not. But like the thing about diction that I remember the most is when I did a musical in my school, right? And like the director would keep insisting that we make sure that our diction is like really clean, because when you're singing and talking one right after the other, you want to make sure people understand what you're singing and talking about, because it's so part of the story and the show itself that like if people don't understand, it's kind of useless. And so we had to really work a lot on the diction itself, and I used to be like, oh my god, this is so much fun. But then, like, after I done with the musical, I still paid a lot of attention to my diction, because I was like, what if we do another musical? I want to, be prepared and stuff. And then I just sort of forgot about it, because I think I was getting tired of paying attention to how many times I was emphasizing on my T's and my D's, you know? But yeah, it's like interesting to be able to like evaluate your own speech and how you like think about yourself, because I'm quite well aware that my accent changes once in a while, like not once in a while, actually all the time. And so does my voice. Like I change my voice a lot unconsciously, like I'm not even doing it on purpose, it just happens. So you know how it is, right? But yeah, recently one of my best friend asked me, which one is your favorite voice? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm so confused, right? And she was like, wait, you change your voice so much, like which one is your favorite voice? And I'm like, do you think I'm doing it on purpose? Because I'm not. Like I'm not doing it on purpose, it just happens. And so it goes the same for my accent as well. I think it's because I have a lot of influences from different like various areas, so like my accent just changes randomly depending on the words and the phrases that I use sometimes. Because like yesterday I sounded really Australian for some reason. I have no idea why. I just swallowed another syllable. I have no idea why. So I was not sure why I was sounding so Australian yesterday, but I laughed like I was Australian. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like a very specific kind of like way that I was saying stuff was very like Australian sounding, even though I wasn't intending for myself to sound Australian at all, but it was Australian. Maybe it's because I've been watching an Australian YouTuber recently. I was gonna say VTuber, but I haven't been watching any VTubers recently. I've been taking a break from YouTube, kind of. I've only been opening YouTube for like looking up specific tutorial stuff or like learning about something stuff, like think video essays. So I haven't been watching VTubers or clips in a while, which maybe I should go back to watching clips. I think the only things I've done recently is watch Miss Dr. Stone. I was gonna say Mr. Stone. I was gonna be like, what's Mr. Stone? Watching Dr. Stone, the newest season. I was too lazy to go and find a different site to watch it, so I've just been watching it on Netflix, which I know it screams lazy to me. We don't have Crunchyroll, which I wish I did now. And other than that, I've been reading a lot, like randomly picking up a manhwa, manga, or just like any one of those things to like read. But really, I've been looking through a lot of them. Like I've been getting a lot of recommendations, but I haven't really actually picked up one in a while. But I want to read what do I want to read again? I forgot the name. Whatever, it's fine. Actually, I was thinking about reading the Dr. Stone. Oh my god, I just hiccuped so gently you couldn't even hear it. But yeah, I've been wanting to read the Dr. Stone manga, but I also think like I'm not gonna enjoy it. And my reasoning for that is that the show is really fast-paced, right? The anime is really fast-paced, so I can like keep my brain up with it. But if the manga is like way slower, because I've heard somebody say, like I read someone talk about the first episode of Dr. Stone, like from the season 1, and they were like, the first episode goes through like 10 chapters of the manga, and I was like, well, I think I can give up right now, because if that first whole episode was like 10 chapters worth of manga material, there's no way I'm gonna get through the manga. Like I'm gonna get bored so fast. And it's not because like I have anything against like slow paced work, it just I don't think after like experiencing the pace of the anime I would be able to like acclimate myself to a slower pace in the manga itself. But yeah, I mean, I also wanted to read the manga for Kaguya-sama Love is War. I think like that's one that I've been waiting for a while, because I want to like read it when I'm actually free to like give my whole attention to it, because I'm gonna like read it all in one go, whatever's there. I love that show so much. I haven't finished watching the newest season that came out. Like I don't even remember when it came out, because I didn't get to like actually finish watching it. So I don't know, I'm excited to finish watching the show, the anime, the latest season, and then read the manga, because I feel like that's way like easier for me in my head and nothing else. Like it just is how I function. I think it says a lot. But yeah, I really enjoy reading in most forms, you know. Like I don't I saw, oh my god, I saw this graphic novel that I wanted to buy, and I just couldn't because it didn't have the first one of the whole series, and I was gonna be so sad. But then I was like, I'll buy a different book, and then I bought this encyclopedia, and this was like last week or something. I bought this encyclopedia, okay, and it's an encyclopedia of facts that are not in normal encyclopedias. Basically, it's very cool. I think one day I'm gonna like show it to you guys. One day, let's see. I think we could do a stream where I just read out all the weird facts that are in the book. It's cool. It's really cool. I saw it and I was like, this is so awesome. I want. Learning is so fun. Actually, I'm somebody who can pick up any random book and read it if I'm desperate enough. Like, if you deprive me of books, if I don't have my phone, I can't access like a physical book as well that I want to read, I will for sure go for anything that has any amount of text in it. So I can read magazines, I can read non-fiction. Like, I don't even mind non-fiction, actually. I think non-fiction is fun to read. As long as it's a subject I'm interested about. But if I'm desperate enough, I'll read anything and everything. Like, I will literally not care. I've read like straight up magazines I've never even heard of before, just because I was so desperate that I needed something. And I was like, I would rather read a magazine than do anything else in the, like, you know, in my life right now. Which is so funny when I think about it, because like, when do you see somebody desperate to read? Oh yeah, oh my god, I saw a reel today. I was just like, this girl was saying, I'm gonna start treating people who don't read like the people who drink treat people who don't drink. So like, it's just about, oh my god, you don't drink? I don't even know how you don't drink. Like, you're in a bar, you don't drink kind of thing. Like, whatever. Their attitude is really weird. Like, I've seen other people who are like that. My mom doesn't drink, right? So whenever she's around people who drink, they're like, oh my god, why don't you get like a glass of wine? Why don't you get this? Why don't you get that? And like, mom is like, I'm not interested. Thank you. I personally don't mind the idea of drinking. I might have like, there's an 80% chance I have an alcohol intolerance. And every single time I drank, I got sick. The next morning. I was kind of sick the whole day. So, and if it's like that, obviously we're not gonna be drinking ever, basically. But I like the idea. I think it's like, it's okay. Like, I like the idea of drinking if it's with friends, but not alone. Like, I don't really care much about drinking alone. If it's like a beverage that I must like, I would rather pick like a cola situation, you know? Like, even that's better than just like drinking alcohol, because you're addicted to it or something. I don't know how people drink, honestly. I haven't drunk that much. Like, the only time that I've actually drunk, like the only times I've drunk is with friends. So I was with a bunch of people most of the time, which is like okay, like, which is quite nice. But yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, as I was saying, so I watched the reel and I was like, oh my god, I want to do this too. And the lady was just like, this is how exactly what I'm gonna say. And she was like, oh my god, you don't read? You're in a coffee shop and you don't read? Wait, let me buy you a book. Like, no, let me buy. I have really good recommendations for books. And I was like, this is exactly how I want to treat people now. Like, I usually don't care. Because I'm like, if you don't read, you don't read. We have other things I can talk about, you know? Because, like, it's not like reading is my entire personality, even though I kind of make it like that is my entire personality. It's not. It's not. Like, I genuinely like reading, but I don't think it's my entire personality. So, like, I'm okay with the idea that it's, like, you know, other people wouldn't read and say that they're not interested in what I have to say about this specific book or something. There's a lot more to talk about in the world, like, you know, shows and movies and manga and anime. Like, so it's not like it's impossible to talk to people about something that I might have in common with them. It's just that it's harder to figure out, because like, if it's books, I'm sure that we've read something or I've liked something before that they've liked, because I read so much. It's kind of like really hard for me to find something not in common with somebody who reads. So yeah. But the fortunate thing is I usually meet people who are really compatible with me in terms of like having conversations and stuff. Like I think the only person I've met like really recently who have had literally zero compatibility with, but still we're somehow friends, was my flatmate from Malaysia, who like, oh my god, doesn't read, doesn't watch anime, doesn't watch K-dramas. And I'm like, I'm struggling to find something to be like, you know, it's something in common with her. But the thing was, I found something in common quite quickly because we were living in the same house, going to the same college. So you would think we would have stuff in common, which we did, obviously. But, you know, it was nice. It was nice interacting with people who literally don't read at all. You know, it's quite nice. Yeah, I had a lot of fun too. I think part of it also happens to be the fact that, like, you know, it's interesting when you decide to like talk to people who are like so different from you. She's not that much different. Like, yeah, we don't have the same hobbies or anything, but we have a lot of same like similar views and stuff. So I'm okay with like conversing with somebody who understands what I'm talking about, as long as like they're okay with listening. Because like I'm okay with listening. I listen to her a lot. Very random stuff, by the way. But yeah, it's just like, it's interesting to talk to people because like I really have fun when I talk to people. I'm like quite extroverted when I want to be, but most of the time, like right now, I've been at home for the last 5 months, when you think about how May is already here. And the only reason I've been at home for the past 5 months is because all of my friendships are basically, no, not just basically, they're literally all long distance. All of my friends live really far away from me, so like it's obviously impossible, not really impossible. It's quite hard for us to meet. And so I just end up staying home because I don't feel like going out as much, especially in like where I live right now. It's not as fun, and there's not as much for me to like do, not gonna lie. And like a lot of the things that I want to do, like they just don't, like, I don't think I want to do them here. Does that make sense? Like, I would rather do them in a separate area, separate space. Like, most of the things, even if I have to do them, like, I can do them at home. So there's no need to actually go out. Unless once in a while I just go out to watch a film or go out and eat at a restaurant with my family. But, like, going out with your family also gets like kind of tiring. You know, you want to go out with your friends, you want to go out alone as well, but like it's so hot here, I would not even want to step out of my house if I was not forced. And again, I think I made it like pretty clear that I don't like hot weather. It's because I get sick more often in hot weather. Like I can't tolerate the heat as well, so I just end up getting sick quite a lot. But like obviously it's something you don't actually like understand how bad it gets before it gets bad, which, you know, it's quite obvious. But yeah, it's like, it's still interesting, it's still fun to be able to just stay at home. I have a lot of fun anyways because I can read and watch stuff and like, you know, work on my own stuff as long as I want and study and stuff. But like then I kind of miss just being able to like go out, whatever, and like just go and roam around in the mall and stuff. Like I don't really want to go to the mall here because there's not much to do in the mall, you know, like it's only so much you can do before you get tired of going to the mall. Because like who wants to go to the mall that much? That's not to say it's like the problem is like the transportation or anything, because like public transport is still like very well connected here. I just think I was feeling way better about going out in Malaysia, even though I had basically no energy ever. It's because like I had like a such like it was weird, but I had a sense of purpose whenever I was going out. Like I was going out for a specific reason. I was going out because I wanted this. I was going out because I wanted to get that. And like this is a specific place that you'd have to go if you wanted to get that. So like I felt way better about it in general. But now that I think about it, I really was just too tired, and I only went out whenever I needed something specific. Like I never went out just for fun. It was like, oh, I had to go here to buy this, and like, or go and get like specific things from here and here and here. So like you would just kind of think about it in that way. Like there was one day where I only went out because I had to buy something from a specific shop that was like half an hour away via like the metros and stuff. And I was just like, I don't actually want to go out, but like I need to go and get my stuff because I'm gonna starve if I don't. That's not that I can't buy other stuff from elsewhere. I needed something really specific, like instant noodles, but like only the Indian kind of instant noodles. So I went to the Indian grocery store in Malaysia multiple times to buy Indian groceries, like Indian groceries basically. Yeah, I'd go like once every single month or twice if I was really needed. And I'd have a lot of fun every single time I went, but it was just like, why am I doing this? Was my question. Like, I don't really need to do this. There's better ways for me to do things. Like, this is not necessary as much as it is something that I want to do in the first place. Like, I could have totally survived without them. But I really liked it. The idea of just being able to do stuff whenever you want because you were just there was nice. I don't feel the same kind of freedom when I'm here in my house with my family. I don't know. I think it also has to do with the fact that you're living with other people. So you have to be responsible for what you do, right? You tell them where you're going so that they don't worry. It just was not the same. Like, I would just leave whenever I wanted. I went on multiple trips in the middle of the night. Just like, it wasn't even like far away. I was just going to the opposite road, the opposite pathway, so that I could like go to one very specific shop, so I can go and get like random stuff in the middle of the night or go and eat in the middle of the night. Like, it was just so random, but it was so much fun. Also, the mall that I genuinely did go to quite a lot was so like not even a 10-minute walk from my house, so like you can imagine what kind of shenanigans I got up to all the time. But I must admit, like, I had a lot of really interesting adventures, really interesting experiences living abroad for like an extended period of time by myself, with like not actually having anyone I know around. And I think part of it is also because like the fun part of that is the fact that you can, take care of yourself, understand how like living alone works. And yeah, like, I was being really lazy about all of my laundry and cleaning because I had basically no energy after college, but it was still so much fun. Like, obviously I wouldn't want to do it again. I wouldn't want to go to that place again because I don't think it's the place I like. It was really hard for me to find food because it was really hard to be vegetarian there. Like, it's not like food wasn't available, it's just that I couldn't have a large variety of food, and there's only so many times you can eat the same stuff before getting like really sick of it. Okay? I'm being honest, because I think I ate the same meal, same food for like a month straight, which was okay because I was still getting food, but it was, obviously not the best way of living and being alive, even though everyone else in my life there was like getting lots of good food, lots of going out and going to places and having fun, and like I just wasn't doing much of that. Also because I had a really huge course load, and I was also the only person in my course. The only person in my batch in my class. So I was doing everything alone, and that made it all the more exhausting because, it's always better to have classmates than it is to not. I'm not gonna lie, but it gets really tiring to not be able to discuss any of your like ideas and any of the things that you don't understand with any of your peers, because like, who else do you discuss it with? Like, obviously the teacher is still gonna teach you as a treat you as a student, so you want to get to know people who your age or around the same age, you guys are studying the same stuff. Like, it's just way more fun. I was so envious and jealous of all the people who had classmates. So like, my juniors had like 5 classmates, and my seniors also had like 3-4 classmates. So they all had like fun together a lot. Well, I didn't. I was always mostly alone. Like, when I used to go home, and I used to walk home quite a bit, right? I don't know why I decided to walk that much, but it was fun for me. Because I could get like an hour's worth of time, because it was 3.5 kilometers going and coming back, both included. Like, no, not both included. Like, going is like 3.5 kilometers, and then coming back is also 3.5 kilometers. Like 7 kilometers in total. And like, if I go slow enough, I can like, I can take a little bit of extra time, really prepare my brain, really, feel better about myself. It also gave me like a good reason to go and like loiter. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but every single time I'd get up in the morning to go and walk to like the college itself, which, you don't really need to do because I got a bus card eventually, okay? But every single time I did that, I felt so good because I would have like an hour in the morning to really feel alive. I would look at everything around me and I would take pictures and I would just feel like I was actually living in a different country. Because I barely went out if not for college. Like, if I'm being honest, I think like half of the detours I did was when I was coming back from college. So I would like stop and go into this random shop I saw and I'd be like, oh my god, what is this? And leave because I realized that it wasn't a shop that I really needed to like buy anything at. But it was fun because that was the part of the exploration. That was the part of like the interesting parts of my day, was going to college and coming back from college. College itself was quite dry and boring because I was the only kid in the class. I mean, I'm saying kid as in I was the only student. There was only, there's one teacher who's teaching me and I'm the only one there listening so intently, taking notes, like doing all my work. I'm a decent, like, okay, I'm a good student. I really like to excel in the stuff I do. That is to say, I don't care if I'm like passing grade as long as I'm enjoying what I'm learning. That's not to say I can't get better grades. I just didn't want to put that much effort because I was constantly exhausted from like 17 different subjects, okay? But yeah, it was so fun to be able to do that. Like, I take detours often, even if I didn't have a lot of like people I could talk and meet all the time, because we were all studying different things and they were in like different courses as me, and there was only a few classes where I would meet a lot of people at the same time. But like, I had so much fun hanging out with myself. It was the kind of fun I don't think I can have here. It's just not the same experience in my opinion. Like, I know that I have to come back home and I have to meet people like my family. I mean, like, my family, okay? Like, it's just not the same as when you're living alone. You're going home and you can just crash in bed. You can just like stay there and eat whenever you want. Even though I can still eat whenever I want. But like, there's more accountability here, I'm not gonna lie. To other people, not to myself. But it's nice to be able to be accountable just yourself once in a while. And I think that was like something I really understood when I was living in Malaysia. It was quite a different experience for me. I've never had an experience like that in my life. So like, I was really glad that I got to experience it. And I know I'll be moving out again soon, like next year, but it was just so nice. Like, I don't even have words. I was so happy. Like, even if I was kind of miserable in terms of food and sleep and energy levels, I was still having a lot of fun because I was still doing like stuff that makes so much sense to me. I don't know. It's weird to talk about it like this. It's not to say that I liked what I was going through. I liked specific moments, but I think the cons outweighed the pros, obviously. And so if I ever was offered, you want to go back there, I would say no, because no. There was like basically like quite a big shortage of food for me, because food was not only expensive, and I eat like very little, but it was expensive and it was like hard to find for some reason for me. Like, it's not that vegetarian food doesn't exist, it's just like harder to find, sometimes even flavorless, because people just don't put that much effort into vegetarian food. I still found like some good places to eat at, but it was just like they would only have like one or two options, and it was really hard like to find variety, which I'd been used to. I've been spoiled in India finding variety for anything I want vegetarian, but it was really difficult to find vegetarian food in Malaysia, specifically variety. Like, there's vegan restaurants, you can definitely go there and eat, but they were really far away from me. So there was not like, it was not easy for me to decide, okay, I'm gonna go and eat at this restaurant, because it takes like, the transportation fee also includes itself, and I'm not just eating there, I'm also paying for the transport going there and stuff. So yeah, it was just hard to imagine that I would not only get used to life but kind of enjoy it, but like only because when I was going home and I was so excited to go home, I was so excited to leave there. I was so excited to come back to like this familiar place. It still is super familiar, obviously, nothing really changed. Just that like, I can't imagine going back and actually like going there to live and settle down as like a place I want to stay at for the rest of my life, because I don't. Like, I enjoyed my experience, but definitely it's not somewhere I want to be for the rest of my life. I think I would resent myself if I did that to myself. It's definitely not somewhere I would enjoy being. Like, it has a lot of stuff, but not a lot of stuff for me. Plus, books are really expensive there. I don't understand why they are, but they are. And I hate that. They're much less expensive here. So, yeah. It was like 30 RM for one book, and I was like, what is wrong with these people? Like, I get that same book here for like 500 rupees. And that's like a lot less pricier, okay? Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's a conversion is the problem. You know, like I sometimes like it might even be the same price both ways, but just the fact that it's like more feels like it's more, definitely. Is it more? Wait, let me think about it actually. Oh, it is more actually. Wait, it was always like books were priced so terribly high that I just couldn't fathom buying them. But when I think about it, they're not that far off in price, but far enough away that I would consider think twice before I buy something from there. You know, I was going to append my whole like everything that I had here to take all the way to Malaysia for only 8 months. But my mom was like, you're crazy, you don't need all of these things and you're gonna buy more stuff there anyway, so like leave all of this here. She was right, because I had a breakdown at the airport while I was going, because like not only was the airport, like the people at the counter bullying me, basically they were harassing me, okay? I'm not even kidding, that one is a real thing. I ended up having like a full-on breakdown. I was crying while I was leaving, not because I was sad to go, but it was because the airport staff was harassing me straight up, no lies. But because I had too much stuff, right? But like everything passed through until they suddenly decided to weigh my check-in baggage. I mean, like not my check-in baggage, my carry-on luggage, which they weren't required to weigh it at all. And suddenly decided to weigh it, and then they made me like break down. They were like, this is too, like, you know, this is too much. Wait, you can't take this. Like, get rid of all of these things. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they made me like go through the check-in process like 5 times before they finally let me in and like let me get on my flight. God, I cried so much. I didn't get to sleep. I didn't get to eat. Like, I was so sad. I mean, I wasn't sad. I was just like angry and mad. And I even put a complaint against them. I was like, this is just like the worst behavior I've seen for airport staff. But yeah, definitely makes you cautious. You're like, I need to be careful so that like doesn't happen again. But yeah, it really makes you uncomfortable after a while. You're like, huh, who would have thought, you know? But yeah, it's also like interesting how like the reactions like became increasingly worse when they realized I was going alone and I was a student. Like the second I said I'm a student, hey, like, can you understand I'm a student? And they were like way more mean about it. Like if I wonder if I just said I was a tourist, they would have let me go, but they were like, no. And I was like, oh my god. I was supposed to take 2 whole huge suitcases along with like my backpack, and I could only take 1 suitcase that I'd emptied out basically, with the second one going back home with my mom, so she could ship all of that stuff inside that suitcase to me. And I was taking my backpack, and my backpack was like emptied. I don't know why they asked me to weigh it, and I don't even know why I agreed to let them weigh my bag that I was like going to take in with me as carry-on, but I did. And then it was just like haywire from there. I cried because they harassed me, not because I was sad to leave. I was really excited, actually. I was literally smiling while I was going, oh my god, I'm going to a different country alone. Not that I haven't like gone alone in a flight before, but it was just like I'd never gone abroad alone. This is quite a fun experience. I don't recommend it to other people. I had way more like chill vibes when I was going to Singapore. Okay, so I went to Singapore from Malaysia just before I was supposed to leave, right? So I was taking like a short holiday before I went back home. So I go to Singapore and have a lot of fun. And none of this stuff happened. I only had 1 backpack and that was it. And I had all of my stuff in it, all of my clothes, all of the stuff I wanted to get my friends and like everything. I didn't actually want to get in my friends anything. I was like carrying all the stuff I needed with me, and it was so much fun. Like, oh my god. Actually, I'm like surprised, low-key, because I didn't expect that I would have so much fun. A little bit. Like, I didn't expect a little bit that I would have so much fun. I don't know why I'm like... I knew I would have fun, but I had so much fun. Like, it was so much fun traveling alone. Like, I always have liked to travel alone. Not gonna lie. Like, I always have had fun going in airports alone, going in airplanes alone, going to theme parks alone, going to cafes, movies, everything alone. But like, it was so much fun to go on like a holiday by myself. I can't even explain it. It was so interesting as well. Like, I had to go figure out where my hotel was and go to the hotel via the MRT, and I had, oh my god, I had so much fun. I can't even explain it. Like, it was actually amazing. Like, I would love to do it again. Like, not even lying, I would love to do it again. It was not hard to get through the customs or immigration or anything. Like, it was so super easy. But I had so much fun, and I can like never even explain how much fun I had, because I think part of it was also because of the fact that it's like so interesting when you like think about it, to go and travel alone when you're like 18, because I was only 18. Wait, yeah, I was 19. What the fuck? It was literally just last year in December. I was 19 already. What the fuck? But yeah, tons of fun. It's really fun. Yeah, I had so much fun meeting my friends and like going to a theme park alone, because I haven't done that in a while. Because I hadn't done that in a while, and I was so glad I got the opportunity, because I could do all of my favorite rides over and over and over, and without anyone stopping me. Basically, no queue, because single rider queues exist, and they're like so easy. They're so easy. You just get slotted into wherever, and you can like sit wherever. It doesn't even matter, because you get to do it so fast, so easy. It's so much fun. And I think like having that kind of experience in life is so valuable, that I'm not saying that everyone can get it, because it's hard, right? Like, obviously going on a trip by yourself is hard to not only schedule, but like, I don't even know if everyone has the finances for it. But if you ever get the chance to, you should go. It's so much fun. Like, it's nice to be able to like explore places the way you want to, figure out what restaurants you want to go to, and just go there and have fun. Like, it's just so nice. Like, it's genuinely so nice. I spent a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. My whole like 5 days of staying at Singapore, I spent a lot of money, but I had so much fun. No doubt, it's something you should definitely experience if you had the chance to. Like, it's so valuable. Like, you really understand what you like and what you don't, and whether or not like you actually wanna, you know, do stuff. What do you want to do? What do you want to explore? Like, I went shopping the first day. Didn't really buy much. I bought like a few things for my sister and my mom and stuff. And for myself, I bought a ring. But it was so much fun. Like, I'd never actually done that before, with the intention of going on a holiday, with the intention of taking like a vacation. Like, I've gone places alone, just not with the intention of it's like a place I'm going alone and gonna stay alone in a hotel room. It was so much fun. Oh my god, it was really amazing. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think that's it for today. What did I do the last 3 days? Ponder upon my life. Enjoy myself mostly. By sleeping. Not really sleeping, I was resting mostly. And eating, obviously. Eating is important when you're recovering from sickness or when you're sick. And drinking lots of water, lots of fluids, and just, you know, being chill. But yeah, I was definitely not in a condition to stream, which I felt really bad about, but I couldn't really change. So, yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for all the love and support. I truly, truly am super thankful and grateful. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. And also, there's a contest going on in my Discord, so join it. You can listen to the BGM I wrote in the BGM writing stream we did last week, and you can give me a name, and that will be your official entry. And if you win, you get your name in the credits of the BGM itself, and also shout on YouTube and Twitter. So, yay! Okay, for real though. Bye bye.